Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sonoma SpeedTour at beautiful wine country, Sonoma Raceway, Northern California, for the Trans Am Western Championship presented by Pirelli and the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series. A fantastic weekend, our third and fourth race of this season, 2024. Let's go down to the fan walk. First time with the Trans Am Western Championship and first time at Sonoma. This is the one that you've missed. How you feeling about this Western Championship?
This is awesome. A great turnout today. Over, I think, 25 cars in the entire field. Track that I've never been to. Went around the track yesterday. Very competitive track. I think going through turns 2 and 3 at the start of this race is going to be exciting. And look forward to seeing the rest of the day here, seeing the new drivers on the podium. Getting to meet a lot of new people and a lot of new teams, and I think it's great to see such a large turnout on the Western Series. So good luck to everybody today.
Well, a fantastic driver introduction from some of the fans and Robert Ricardo Jr.'s family, but we've got Will Rogers and Zhang Xuan up front to start us here at Sonoma Raceway. This should be a fantastic race to watch, ladies and gentlemen. As they come around a very difficult turn 11, you see Troy Ermish there starting near the back, about to take the green, and there is the green. Will Rogers in the orange car. Ooh, big shake there from Will Rogers, not sure what that is. So Zhang Xuan up there in that Lamborghini. As we look, the field comes through on oh, there's Zhang Xuan off there at Cube 3 turn into the wall, hard into the wall. I hope he's okay. In that Aurelic North America Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo, as we ride on board with Michael LaPaglia, Papini's Garage Fast Auto Ford Mustang, as he gets right there, and it looks there, Dylan Lupton off the track too. So both the Chris Evans XGT cars look to have mechanicals. Now, a lot of that could be, this is the new grip, new pavement of Sonoma Raceway, and we have broken a lot of rear ends and a lot of rear axles with these Pirelli P0s with really good grip on this high grip surface. When you put the loud pedal down, it's braking a lot there. We saw on board Michelle Abadi jumping the curb there, getting her right rear on the curb, and Michael LaPaglia side by side coming through. The downhill is Sonoma back on board with a Michelle Abadi in her Ghost Energy Nitro Motorsports car around Mission Foods turn 10, and it's Tim Barber in the lead, followed by Michelle Nagai, Gio Ruggiero, and the field comes through. Now through turn 11. The tires are starting to get warm here. Things are looking pretty good. The field is starting to spread out. And we're going to have a full course yellow to go pick up that car. Unfortunate, not sure what happened there, but the beautiful Aurelic North America Lamborghini Huracan. And you can see there our Ginetta pace car coming through the field. He has the field, has the leaders. There's Tim Barber there right behind. Full course cautions that come through the Cube 3 turn. Little replay of what happened on the first lap. You see J.C. Monet and Jim Guthrie going at it. Both were able to refire and get back up with this field as Bob Pengraff and the pace car come through, bringing the field through Mission Foods turn 10. You've got Tim Barber, Michelle Nagai, Gio Ruggiero, Michelle Abadi, Michael LaPaglia, Brad McAllister, Barry Bowes. Then there's Chris Evans, Tim Lind, Robert Ricardo Jr., Tim Carroll, Ken Sutherland, Kyle Kelly, Chopla, Hampton, Troy Ermish, all up there looking pretty good as they come through now turn 11. And there's Goldman. You can see Jim Guthrie missing his door. Now the field seems to pick up the pace. Not sure if they're supposed to do that. And now slowing back down around turn 12 to take the green flag once again. And there's the green. Tim Barber jumps out. Something's wrong with Gio Ruggiero's car. It might be the same thing that's happening to everybody. This new surface and the grip of these tires has been tough on transmissions differentials. As they go through Cube 3 turn, Ken Sutherland side by side with Tim Carroll. And now we're on board with Troy Ermish right behind Tim Carroll and Ken Sutherland. They go through the Bennett Bridge Hall, turn 3. Troy Ermish doing really well in the points so far. Might have gotten a little tap in the rear there from Tim Carroll, not quite sure. You can see he goes into 3rd gear, and now we're watching Michele Abate fight with Michael LaPaglia. Michele Abate currently overall in 3rd place, 2nd in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2, and now Kyle Kelly on board with him with the PK and K Properties upracing.com Ford Mustang. Around a very tough turn 7, especially when you go 3 wide into turn 7. On board with Tim Carroll with his M1 Team SLR chassis. CRDMF.com. So go around Mission Foods turn 10, a fast turn, treacherous corner here, as we hear the tires just fighting for grip. On board with Victor Chopla with the Cool Box Dodge Challenger, but slowing down. You can hear, usually they're on their limiter there. Oh, for this reason, another full course yellow. We saw Gio Ruggiero break something in the car at the green flag, so he's off there. So we're coming back to another green flag here at Sonoma Raceway for the Sonoma SpeedTour, and Tim Barber, another great start. Michelle Nagai right behind in that XGT car, but Michael LaPaglia trying to take the look on Michelle Nagai in that 31, followed by Michele Abate, Brad McAllister, Barry Bowes, and Tim Lynn. On board with Kyle Kelly. Come into turn 4, everybody trying to navigate. It's tough to do. Somebody spun there. I think that was Robert Accardo Jr. spinning as we ride on board with Tim Lynn, the Lynn Intimidator, with Roof Options Ford Mustang. Tim Lynn also doing really well in the points. So far we've had 2 races at Thunder Hill, and now this is the 3rd race of the 2024 season. Brad McAllister side by side with the other Nitro teammate, Michele Abate, and takes it here at turn 7. Brad McAllister, always one of our Western champion greats in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 series. Look for him to move up through the field. He wasn't with us at Thunder Hill. Great to have him back here. Always really good at Portland International Raceway is Brad. So they come around turn 11. So Tim Barber, Michelle Nagai, Michael LaPaglia, Brad McAllister, Michele Abate, Barry Bowes, and Tim Lynn there. That's our top as we ride on board with Barry Bowes, the Osseo Data TRB Autosport Ford Mustang. Scott Adams Driver Development. Barry Bowes, one of our fast drivers running in the Pro-Am and the National Championship and for the Western Championship. So almost gone every weekend. Also doing well in the Super Tour. We see Ken Sutherland duck right behind Kyle Kelly. Kyle Kelly behind the Lynn Intimidator. Okay, good now. Things are kind of settling down. This is a 100-mile sprint race. And with all the carnage there and the first 2 restarts, maybe crews are telling drivers to calm down a little bit. It's going to spread out a little bit. Kyle Kelly's car sounds amazing. Tough part of the track. There isn't really a traditional straightaway like we know of from like a Road America Sebring. Not any time to rest on this track, and now with the new surface applied just maybe 5-6 weeks ago, it's like a whole new track to a lot of the drivers. So they come into turn 11. You can see how difficult this is. I'm sure many people have played this on their sims or video games, and it really is that difficult to get around. There's Kyle Kelly following Tim Lynn through the Cube 3 turn, followed right behind Ken Sutherland. Ken Sutherland looks like he might have a little front end damage there. Oh, and Troy Ermish over Victor Chopla and Jim Guthrie. So Troy Ermish moving his way through. Looks like Jim Guthrie has some rear bumper falling off his car. Now on board with Tim Carroll. Right behind Patrick Utt. Another TRB Autosport driver. Side by side around the carousel. That's dangerous, gentlemen. Now we're on board with Patrick Utt with that race quip. Sorry, I said safe quip, but it's race quip car. Patrick Utt, the former owner of Race Quip, but was bought out by Holly, but still supporting the car, so we appreciate that. Doing really well in the series, also competing in the Super Tour. We follow along a little bit of a gap there between Kyle Kelly and Ken Sutherland as they go through Mission Foods turn 10. Kyle Kelly seems to have the faster car, but the L'Intimidator able to make that black car very wide and hard to pass. Now listen to this if we stay on board. When he gets up close to the wall, listen to the noise echoing off that wall. Troy Ermish coming from the back, but you can see it has front left splitter issues. He had the same issues at Thunder Hill just a few weeks ago as we ride on board with the 510 parts outlet of Troy Ermish. Going around turn 4. Now on board with Ken Sutherland. Always does really well in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series Western Championship with Kahlberg Racing. See Kyle Kelly put his right rear tire down as he tries to get around the L'Intimidator of Tim Lynn. Side by side going into 7. Let's see what happens here. Ken Sutherland seeing this, taking notes. Ooh, watch out for that because Ken Sutherland almost got a twofer on that one. Kyle Kelly around Tim Lynn. But Ken Sutherland's going to make notes of that. And now, because of that, Troy Ermish is able to catch right up to the back of them as they come through Mission Foods turn 10 into turn 11. Many different ways to take turn 11. Right now, everybody kind of just staying to that inside line. They come around Cube 3 Architecture. Turn up that hill, up that blind right-hand turn. Very difficult to navigate. Through the Bennett Bridge Hull, turn 3 uphill, another blind right-hander. Then over the crest, the car gets light down into turn 4, and it is a far downhill. The cameras don't quite do this justice, and then it should be flat out all the way to the carousel. A little bit of a throttle feather there. Ooh, Ken Sutherland hard on the brakes. Troy wasn't anticipating that. Not sure what happened, but both drivers had to check up going into the carousel, and now it's hard on the gas. Troy Ermish giving Ken Sutherland room. Looks to have the faster car, then trying the over-under, but Ken Sutherland able to hang on in that Kahlberg Racing Camaro. And again on the brakes that Troy wasn't expecting. So Ken Sutherland may be having some handling problems. We go back to the leaders, Tim Barber, followed by the XGT of Michelle Nagai. Michelle Nagai, so these XGT cars, they are TA2 bodies, but basically with TA engines that are just slightly restricted. They're able to run the canards a little bit more aero. You can see Michelle Nagai, though, knowing Tim Barber's experience, she may be happy knowing what's happened to her XGT competitors in this field. She may be happy just to follow somebody like Tim Barber around to see where he gets his speed from. Maybe out there just kind of learning some lessons. That's kind of the chess player that Michel Nagai and Steve are. And there's Michael LaPaglia, Brad McAllister. Barry Bose gotten around Michelle Abadi as we ride along with Michelle Abadi in her Ghost Energy TA2 car, Nitro Motorsports, going into turn 7. I like this view personally. It's kind of that video game view. You can really see what's happening around the track. They get on the curbing. Uh-oh, who's in that? Tim Carroll. Oh, unfortunately, Tim Carroll coming into the pits. Tim Carroll also wanted me to mention PDIDiesel.com, PDIDIESEL.com, so PDIDiesel.com, one of his sponsors, so thank you for joining us. Now, these are doubleheader racers, so hopefully Tim can get that back up and running for tomorrow's race as we watch along again. Tim Barber going into the Cube 3 turn with Michelle Nagai right behind in her XGT car. These are different classes, as now it looks like Troy Armish getting right behind Tim Lynn. These two had it out last round at Thunder Hill, both races. So Troy Armish around Ken Sutherland, but can he get around the Lynn Intimidator? Ooh, that's a tough move. Going into 4 on the inside, but can he hold it? Not sure, but look at that. There's Ken Sutherland trying to make it a twofer. You got to watch out for Ken Sutherland, always the chess player and willing to pounce whenever he can take advantage. So Tim Lynn lost 2 positions there. Ken Sutherland gained 1, Troy Armish gained 1. That's not going to make the Intimidator happy. That was a very optimistic move by Troy Armish, and there it is, Ken Sutherland taking advantage. Ken Sutherland, long-time MX5 Cup Spec Miata racer. He has seen it all, and I think he kind of saw what was coming and was able to pounce. They come around Mission Foods turn 10. Both drivers hang a wheel off there. That's not recommended. Troy Armish had an off there just a couple of days ago in practice. They go side by side into 11, and Ken Sutherland kind of saw what might happen there and maybe kind of gave it, but then is able to take it again at turn 12. So Ken Sutherland just kind of showing the wisdom here and how many laps he's had at Sonoma Raceway as they come through the Cube 3 turn. Troy Armish right behind that Camaro, Kahlberg Racing Camaro of Ken Sutherland. There's Ken Sutherland just kind of locking up his right front brake going into 4. Many places to get the car off balance here at Sonoma Raceway. Oh, and Ken Sutherland goes wide, hangs out his wheel, and spins it. There's the in-car. We're on board with Ken Sutherland. Kahlberg Racing spun it, stalled it. Is he able to fire? Able to fire. There he goes. Oh, he is not going to like that, but just went a little bit too deep and hung out his right rear tire. Like I said, many places for the car to get off balance here as we ride on board with Tim Barber's rear camera, the bumper cam in that menacing XGT of Michelle Nagai Racing Berkeley Jet Drive Chevrolet Camaro. Michelle Nagai on the podium with us in XGT at Thunder Hill. She has a lot of experience here at Sonoma Raceway, but because of that, Michael LaPaglia is able to kind of catch up to them, as is Brad McAllister, Barry Bose. So these two fighting for what isn't even their class, maybe slowing them down for Michael LaPaglia, Brad McAllister, Barry Bose. Michelle Abadi. Michelle Abadi and Barry Bowes have been racing together for the last couple seasons in the National Championship Series. They know each other well. Michelle Abadi looking fast at Sonoma Raceway. So she may be just happy to be back there, waiting for the race to come to her, because anything can happen in these 100-mile sprint races. There's the gap with our leaders as they come down that back hill. From turn 7 to 11, it's nearly downhill the whole way. On board with Tim Barber with Dig Motorsports Ford Mustang. Jeremy at Dig Motorsports wants me to mention that they do have cars for rent. Obviously, they rent fast cars. So just give Dig Motorsports a call if you want to join us in this Trans Am Western Championship. Looks to me like they may be coming up on lap traffic now. As he comes up the hill, video doesn't do it justice of how steep that hill is into the Cube 3 turn. Now the Bennett Bridge Hall turn 3, another steep hill. Then over that crest, the car gets light down through the gears, hard on the brakes to turn 4 to another downhill. Very few flat sections of Sonoma Raceway. And if you look up in the hills, you can see the sheep. The sheep are actually the lawnmowers here. It's fun to watch. Michelle Nagai has about 250, 300 horsepower advantage over Tim Barber. But that makes Tim Barber's car a little bit more nimble. Tim knows this track very, very well. And Michelle is fast in some sections and Tim is faster in others. Big crowd here at the Sonoma SpeedTour. Thanks for coming out. In just a few days, we're going to be at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, putting this show on again. May 3rd through the 5th. Come out to WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Go to speedtour.net for tickets. But there is Michelle Abadi right behind the rear of Barry Bowes. Michelle Abadi always has the best looking cars. Ghost Energy, want to thank Ghost Energy, Ghost Supplements. My sons take Ghost Supplements, and the whole paddock of Trans Am drinks Ghost Energy. So thanks for coming on board, supporting one of our best drivers, Michelle Abadi, and just such a great ambassador for the sport, Michelle Abadi. Here's our scoring over there to the left. So you see Michael LaPaglia in third, Brad McAllister, Barry Bowes, Michelle Abadi, Kyle Kelly, Troy Ermish, Tim Lynn, Ken Sutherland. This is looking really good. And speaking of Ghost, you know, if you want to sponsor any of these drivers, they're always looking for help, and it's so much fun to come on board. You can see Ocio Data, the sponsor here, a Barry Bowes car. All of the drivers provide really fun hospitality. It's just a fun paddock to be around, as Nick Middleton from Cube 3 can attest to. And speaking of Nick Middleton, Cube 3, the owner of Cube 3 Architecture, actually went out and helped me set up the signboards that you see there on the apex of the Cube 3 turn. And was just excited to be on track taking pictures. So it's so cool to have sponsors like him. Juan Gonzalez is here from Mission Foods Racing with us this weekend. Having sponsors and marketing partners that just love the sport so much, as you see there, Steve Goldman giving them the room to come around. Steve Goldman doing really well from Mercer Island, Washington, with his LIG Racing Chevrolet Corvette. And now Papini's Garage, Michael LaPaglia. Always one of the sharpest cars in the paddock, and by far the sharpest crew, the most well-dressed crew in the Western Championship. I'd say Trans Am in general, maybe Trans Am globally, because there is TA2 series in Asia, Australia. The TA2 series in Australia is also really fun to watch. I never miss one of those races online. So thank you for TA2 Australia for what you're doing. And there's also TA2 Europe. But this is the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series Western Championship, battling against the Western Championship in XGT right here with Michelle Nagai. Seems like Michelle now has the faster car. Maybe she learned some things from Tim Barber, or maybe she's letting the race come to her. Very well experienced racer is Michelle Nagai, and knowing what's happened with her teammates and competitors, she may be kind of taking it easy, but it looks like she's now kind of ducking in behind Tim Barber to make a pass. Let's listen in. So you're going to see these boards here, right there. That's what Nick Middleton helped me set up, so thank you, Nick. Sorry I put you to work, but you know, it was fun getting to do a lap with you and talking to you about Cube 3. Then there's Brad McAllister, Barry Bowes, Michelle Abadi. This seems to be the battle to watch as we ride on board with Michelle Abadi. I love her gloves because you can really see what her hands are doing. Michelle looks very calm and relaxed in that car. That's a good sign, because you're not seeing that from Barry Bowes or Troy Ermish or Kyle Kelly. So it looks like the car is really set up well as Michelle Nagai going around the outside of Tim Barber. This could be the pass for the overall lead. We've got lap traffic ahead of him. What's going to happen here? What's going to shake out? You can see Michelle Nagai to the left of Tim Barber, puts the loud pedal down, and now Michelle Nagai is in the lead here at the Sonoma SpeedTour, coming up upon lap traffic. And then watch out, Tim Barber, you got Pepini's Garage and Michael LaPaglia right behind you, but Michelle Nagai going around there. There's Buckshot Schweitzer, and one of my favorite cars in this series. The livery of that car, kind of a NASCAR throwback. He's given the room, he saw what was happening, but you know, when you come up to these lap traffic of Patrick Utt and Buckshot, they're in their own race. So you have to be very calculating on where you pass. It's about to get loud as it comes up on the wall, and there he is, Patrick Utt, and that beautiful race-equipped TA2 car with the Howe chassis, I believe. And then there's Michael LaPaglia right behind. So Michael LaPaglia coming up, getting fast. Never count out that Pepini's Garage. Going side by side with Patrick Utt there into the Bennett Bridge Hole turn 3, and he sees Tim Barber right ahead of him. He and Tim Barber, if you go back and watch on YouTube, they had a great battle in race 1 at Thunder Hill 2024. It's on the SpeedTour TV YouTube channel that this race is on. We had a little bit of a lesson with that Watts link and the Panhard bar. I believe Tim Barber's on a Watts link this weekend. He was on a Panhard bar in the rear end at Thunder Hill, but look at that. Michelle Abadi has gotten around Barry Bowes. Not sure what happened there, but now Barry Bowes behind Michelle Abadi. Michelle Abadi running that Ghost Energy, but also a livery honoring her brother, a Nevada highway patrolman who was unfortunately killed by a drunk driver in this off-season. So we want to honor Michael Abadi and the whole Nevada Highway Patrol, as is Michelle running that livery all season, I believe. So there they come. So there's Brad McAllister, Michelle Abadi, Barry Bowes around. They're coming up on the lap traffic. And then Kyle Kelly, I was mentioning how good his car sounds, but man, coming through. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it's my fault. The camera did not work on Michelle Nagai's car. I'd love to be able to show in-car of these really beautiful XGT cars. We will for tomorrow's race, but Michelle Nagai's camera wasn't working. There's Barry Bowes, that Oxio Data number 32. Something about Barry Bowes to know he's gotten so fast last couple seasons, and I attribute a lot of that to Scott Adams and the driver development that Scott Adams is able to do when I'm putting up those trackside signs you see, it's usually during the track walk, and without fail, he and Scott are always out there doing the track walk as they come around Buckshot Schweitzer in that 00. I asked him why he's got the 00, and it's because Buckshot looks like he's got a double barrel shotgun pointed at you. Look at this, Brad McAllister, Michelle Abadi. These two have raced together for a long time. Brad McAllister, longtime racer, like I said, but you got to watch out for him. He's always fast, but he and Michelle have been racing in the Western Championship against each other for quite a while. Brad McAllister in that Strawman and Zimbus Ford Mustang. I believe Portland Dental Implants is with them this season as well. Usually are every season as they come around Patrick Utt. Patrick Utt, wisely and thankfully giving them the racing room. But you can see a little bit of fogginess on my camera lens there. Hopefully that's not anything coming out of the cars, but man, Michael LaPaglia looks like he is the car that is hooked up. The Papini's Garage Ford Mustang, brought to you by V-Box Motorsports. Beautiful car. Michael LaPaglia, watching his hands down there in the bottom left, seems to also be very relaxed. Anytime you can see these Cube 3 TA2 architecture drivers looking relaxed means they've got a really good car underneath them. And so now he may be waiting for the race to come to him. And when we go on board, I'll show you the difference. When we go on board with like a Troy Ermish, you can see Troy Ermish and Ken Sutherland really fighting the wheel. They don't look relaxed in the car, really fighting to try to get their setup. Oh, and right as I say that, look at that. A mechanical failure from Michael LaPaglia, just bragging on him, but looks like something happened there to Michael LaPaglia. You can see him there off to the left. So we will check in, but that opens it up. So now Michelle Abadi, who we're on board with going through Mission Foods Turn 10, and Brad McAllister have both picked up a place in this race. Now Brad McAllister in second place in the Q3 Architecture TA2 Series. Michelle Abadi, who we're on board with right now, in third place, fighting for that podium, but coming up behind him really fast is Kyle Kelly, so watch out. Brad McAllister going a little bit wide there, not sure what happened, going uphill into the Cube 3 Architecture turn. Whew. Something's a little bit loose in Brad McAllister's rear end. Not sure he has the hookup that Michelle Abadi does. And when we go on board with Michelle Abadi, we're going to really see a big difference in her hand movement as opposed to Brad's. You can see he's going a little bit more wide there, and another spin. He did what Ken Sutherland did. Brad McAllister spins there at the carousel. Turn 6, a very difficult turn. It's why, basically, it's why NASCAR won't run the carousel. They tried it a few years ago, and too many drivers went off there, and it's why the Trans Am Series does. The Trans Am Series likes to run the difficult circuits, and this is the layout of the Sears Point circuit. The Trans Am has run since the late 60s, and a lot of championships were decided here at Sonoma in the 90s for Trans Am, back in the Scott Pruitt, Scott Sharp days. So Barry Bowes there, Michelle Abadi in second place, doing really well. Michelle is always really good here at Sonoma Raceway, but Barry Bowes right behind, and Barry Bowes, I got to give him credit, also in the yellow-orange gloves. Dylan Lupton back out on the track in that silver XGT. So where he broke at turn 4, he was able to get towed in, and Chris Evans and that team at Central Welding Supply was able to get him back on track, and you can see there, Kyle Kelly now has Barry Bowes and Michelle Abadi in his vision. Let's just be quiet, because I think this is the best sounding car in the field. Now you can see there, that's he's got the Portland International map to the bottom right, and he's got Bob Kelly as the driver, but it is Kyle Kelly on board there. We ride on the Barry Bowes with Osseo Data. Watch him shift. I love watching this, and then down into fourth gear. I love it. They have a standard H pattern, no driver assist. Michelle Abadi goes a little bit deep into there, but so does Barry Bowes. And they're trying to just do one corner, one turn to not scrub off any power as Barry Bowes goes into third gear on this long downhill S's. Uh-oh, what's happening? Oh no! Okay, you can hear Barry talking. That's good. I went quiet there because oh no. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's good. We've got a red flag. Barry Bowes had another mechanical failure out there, so maybe something's happening with those, but you can see, so red flag basically means all cars should come to a stop because of the hilly nature, and Tim Richter covered this in driver's meeting. You try to stop at the top of the hill or at a downhill so that you can, if the car doesn't refire, but all cars are to come to a stop. That way they can let the safety crews go out there and check on the driver. Barry under that wall. There's Papini's garage there talking to Michael LaPaglia. You can see the corner workers waving those red flags. So good to see Barry Bowes, a good friend of mine, doing well. Let's hear what he's saying. You can hear him there tell Troy at TFB he lost his front right tire. Not sure what happened. Maybe a puncture, but thank you to the Sonoma safety crew for clearing that up. Right into, I was taking video from that flag stand just this week, and you could see the flagman there ducking out as we have a new pace car. That's Bob Pengraff's personal car. Not sure what's happened there, but thank you to Bob and Becky Pengraff for coming out this weekend. Bob, our hero for driving the pace car at Thunder Hill and then now at Sonoma Raceway, but had to make not a driver change, but a vehicle change as now the cars come through. Uh-oh, Kevin Michaels there is stuck in a killer shrimp sandwich between first and second place. He's in that XGT Corvette, so let's see. Hopefully Kevin Michaels kind of ducks out and gets out of the way because, yeah, he does. The green flag goes. There's Michelle Nagai, Tim Barber, Michelle Abadi. Then Kyle Kelly and Troy Ermish. So, man, second place in TA2 does not seem like it's the place to be right now because both of our second place drivers out with a mechanical at nearly the same place on track. There's Matthew Rivkin, another one of our cool box drivers in that blue Camaro. So watch Troy's hands. His hands are all over the place, but that is also the Troy Ermish racing style. Races 510 with us, always one of the fastest drivers in SVRA. But he is always working and sawing on the wheel. Never a relaxed stance from Troy, but sometimes that doesn't matter. Sometimes he's the fastest one in the field. But now look at this. We're on board with Kyle Kelly, almost trying to make a twofer, but side by side with Michelle Abadi, just to the left of Michelle Abadi. Michelle Abadi, that was her corner to take, and just slides him off. So Michelle Abadi still in second in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series. You can see that Michael Abadi livery there on the side, honoring her brother Michael. Now watch her hands. Just a little bit more relaxed than some of her competitors, which means that car is set up well. Nick Tucker and Joe Claridge at Nitro have done such a great job. Back on board with Kyle Kelly. 120, 130, 132 miles an hour there. And that's basically the longest straightaway of Sonoma Raceway. And now Tim Barber may be in trouble because he's not gapping the field of Michelle Abadi and Kyle Kelly like he has in the past. And I'm hearing now we've only got about 5 minutes left of this race. So we are coming up, and we're not going to get the whole 100 miles in because of all the yellows and the red flag. Tim Richter up in race control is going to give us about 5 minutes. Now, I was talking to Nitro Motorsports with Michelle Abadi and Brad McAllister. I actually caught Joe Claridge at Nitro Motorsports this weekend fixing some of my banners on grid just because he didn't like the way they looked. I didn't ask him to. He just did it because he saw it needed to be done. So I want to thank them. And that's just kind of the caliber of the people here that we have on the crews and teams in the Trans Am paddock. It really is just a big family. And I thanked them for that. And he's like, yeah, I'll, you know. He said it wasn't the first time he's done it. So I love that kind of family atmosphere that we have here as we ride on board with Kyle Kelly. Coming to the end of the race, nobody wants to get it wrong here, but Kyle Kelly has come through the field. It looks like he may be the fastest TA2 car in the field. And knowing Kyle and his team and the work that they've been doing the last couple of weeks, he would love to get on the top step of the podium. If you're watching on YouTube, on SpeedTour TV, leave us a comment. Tell me where I've gotten the call wrong. It's your chance to yell at the commentator. And who are you rooting for in this series? What would you like to see more of in the Trans Am Western Championship? But there's Troy Ermish hoping to pounce, and Tim Lynn, the two drivers, and Jim Guthrie, three of the drivers that are doing well in the points. And then Ken Sutherland battling with Robert Accardo Jr. Then there's Chopla, Kevin Michaels, Patrick Utt, J.C. Monet, Matthew Rivkin. So everybody's kind of right there in that top 10 in the Western Championship. But Kyle Kelly, I think, has the car to beat, but I'm not sure has the time to catch him. That's Michelle Abadi right there in that Ghost Energy Nitro Motorsports Ford Mustang. Right ahead of Kyle Kelly. That's who he's trying to get for one more step on the podium. But right now, he would be third on the podium in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series, fourth overall. You see how wide left they try to go into turn 11, and Kyle Kelly is definitely out braking Michelle, but she may be out accelerating him. Sometimes into turn 11 it's a give and take on entry speed and exit speed. So there's our leader, Michelle Nagai. Michelle Nagai putting together just a fantastic race. This is the race to watch. Now, remembered, as they come through Bennett Bridge Hall, turn 3, Kyle Kelly's also got that bright blue car of Troy Ermish right behind him. Troy Ermish running for a championship, looking for some sponsors and marketing partners, and they have a lot of fun in the paddock. So if you're looking for another driver to sponsor, look for Troy Ermish, Ermish Racing, because he runs his own series on these weekends with us of a bunch of vintage Trans Am B sedan cars from the 70s. So a lot of fun is Ashley Ermish and Troy Ermish. But look, we're right on board now with Kyle Kelly. There's our leader, Michelle Nagai, and I believe she is about to take the white flag next time around. So Michelle Nagai, you've got about 3.5, 4 miles to win this race. I'm sure Steve has bitten all of his fingernails off watching Michelle run around. Steve, her crew chief and husband. Michelle Abadi getting a little bit loose around Mission Foods turn 11. Now watch, see Kyle's out braking, but Michelle able to put it down, and there is the white flag for Michelle Nagai. One more lap, Michelle Nagai, 2.5 miles around this difficult circuit. Then Tim Barber. Tim Barber is up ahead, but this is the battle. Michelle Abadi, Kyle Kelly, and it looks like Troy Ermish is going to be pretty happy with a 4th place with all that he's gone through so far this weekend. Live to fight another race tomorrow morning. Kyle Kelly, that number 80, doing really well in the PK&K Properties upracing.com Ford Mustang. I'm sure Kyle Kelly would love to have some more marketing partners and sponsors join him for this season. But Michelle Abadi hitting all of her marks. I know that Anthony's up on the hill watching her. telling her what's coming. But Michelle Abadi doing the work. So happy for her to see her out here in the Western Championship. So happy she's back with Nitro Energy and Nitro and all that they do with us on social media. So we really do appreciate that. Please keep it up. But Kyle Kelly trying to pounce on Michelle Abadi, but Michelle Abadi not giving him anything. This would be Kyle Kelly's best finish of the season. First podium of the season, but always very fast. And that car sounds amazing, Kyle. Last couple chances here. Is he going to make a dive bomb move into turn 11? I don't think so. I think he's going to be pretty happy with a podium finish here. Let's see what happens. So there is Michelle Nagai taking the checkered flag. Michelle Nagai first in XGT, then Tim Barber. Steve Goldman just kind of wisely getting out of the way. Then Michelle Abadi, Kyle Kelly, Troy Ermish, Tim Lynn. Watch out for Troy Ermish, Tim Lynn doing really well in the championship. You can see Tim Carroll in pit lane. Then it's Jim Guthrie over Ken Sutherland. Nice job, Jim Guthrie. What another great recovery for you. Robert Accardo Jr., the cool box of Victor Chopla. What a great race. And then J.C. Monet with that early spin at the carousel. Lap 1 came back. Kevin Michaels with Killer Shrimp doing really well. Patrick Utt, Matthew Rivkin, David Hampton. Looks like Gio was back out there. There's that buckshot of Schweitzer. What a race. Dylan Lupton back out there. So let's head on down, see what's happening down here at our Jim Weed Winner Circle and Cube 3 Architecture Winner Circle.
Oh my God. Yes. Where's my guys? Where's my people? Come here.
Let's hear from Michelle Nagai. She hugs her people, she says.
What I'm talking about, Dad. Come here, buddy.
Yeah. We're celebrating tonight, Chris.
Michelle Nagai, that has got to feel really good. Hard
Oh my God.
win.
Let me catch my breath. Holy smokes. I give it up to God. I give all the glory. We know where it begins. We know where it ends. Chris Evans Race Cars, Jefferson team. All my guys. The new pavement on Sears Point is incredible. I actually can't wait for tomorrow, even though I'm whooped right now. Got to learn to pace myself. Had a good run with Tim Barber. He's as good as they get. He took me to school, which I thank him. It's not going to like that, but yeah, I learned a lot being behind him. I don't know. I got Berkeley Jet Drive, our family business. Nagai Racing is Steven and I fund this bugger. Anybody want to come on board so we can finish this thing out and try to get a championship would be incredible.
All right, well, they can't start without us. All right. So, Michelle, that's got to feel amazing.
Yeah, that was a lot of hard work, man. That was a good race. I just tried to keep my head down. I made a couple mistakes, but made them up at the end and feeling really good, so.
But you were the race to watch. You, Barry Bowes, Kyle Kelly,
Yeah.
Troy Ermish came in there for a little bit. You feel pretty good?
I'm so proud of myself right now. It feels good. My team just gives me this amazing car that it's just, I've never driven a car so good. Nitro Motorsports really knows what's up. You did it!
Good job,
Kelly, Michelle Abadi, Tim Barber here at the Sonoma SpeedTour.